We are live. We are live. Welcome to College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our channel. Smash the like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends if you want to support this Rebel Outpost. If you want to support this home for the true college football sickos with a donation, help us keep the lights on. Hit that $sign where you make your comments, and I'll get to your super chat as quick as I possibly can. Welcome everybody into the studio that sits on the corner, the very corner of Keith Jackson Parkway and Kurt Gowdy Avenue. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to become a legend with your comments and with your phone calls. Sunday night. Why are we doing a show Sunday night? Because why not? Why not? We're going to talk college football today. And the phone lines are going to be wide open. You can talk about anything in college football that your heart desires. But before we do that, before we open up the phone lines to you college football Einsteins that are in the chat room, a couple things I want to go over tonight. One, we continue our Spotlight series before the opening kickoff in Dublin, Ireland. Tonight, the USC Trojans are under the spotlight. The USC Trojans to me, is the biggest wild card in the Big Ten Conference. If I would compare USC to other teams and other conferences that I consider the biggest wild card, Utah Utes in the Big 12 this year. The Missouri Tigers in the SEC this year. There's a couple of teams in the ACC. I don't want to get too far. The ACC is going to be the first conference, and it could happen this week, and I think it will happen this week, where we make our official prediction, order of finish prediction for the ACC. So I don't want to give too much away on that. But that's the USC Trojans to me. I think they have an outside shot at challenging Indiana and Illinois and Michigan. They've got an outside shot to get that fourth spot in the Big Ten and possibly, maybe just possibly, squeeze into the college football playoffs. But they also have a chance of collapsing. USC, there is a chance that the whole thing goes belly up on Lincoln Riley. Here's the deal. Maeva, I think, is a pretty good quarterback. Pretty good quarterback. But I don't think he is going to be a superstar. I don't see it. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. Their wide receivers, the USC Trojans, I think they are superstars. And it's going to be this year that they're going to be a superstar. Now, they lost Deuce Robinson. I love Deuce Robinson. Florida State is one of the very few teams that we have not done a spotlight on. And when we do a spotlight on the Seminoles, we are going to be talking a lot about Deuce Robinson. I love Deuce Robinson. I love Deuce Robinson when he was on USC last year. He was the player that the Gophers were scared about. Deuce Robinson, I got a feeling that the people in Tallahassee are figuring out during the spring camp and now in August camp what a player Deuce Robinson is. He's not only a great player, he's a great dude. He's a great guy to have in the locker room. Deuce Robinson is the real deal Holyfield. So when we get to the Florida State spotlight, the two additions that I love that Mike Norvell did is getting Tony White, defensive coordinator. I love Tony White and I love Deuce Robinson. So we are going to talk about that when we talk about the Seminoles. But even though the Trojans lost Deuce Robinson, they've got enough juice. They've got the juice. They've got the juice on offense. On defense, they're going to have to improve a little bit more. And they got a new... they've got there is a certain part of that football schedule that they've got that is going to be quite the challenge. But anyways, we are going to start the show off with the USC spotlight. Okay. But that's not all. I also want to get into, we did a live show yesterday. And I want to make a couple of comments about a couple of things that I said on that live show. Number one, I just want to go over real quick, about the UNC North Carolina state proposal in the state of North Carolina to build a stadium for cricket and rugby, because when I mentioned it very quickly in the live show last night, I read the comments. I read the comments after the show. I think people took away, I don't think people understand what we were trying to convey about why that is an interesting story and it could be an important story. It's not because the ACC is going to have a cricket league or the SEC is going to have a cricket league if the North Carolina Tar Heels go to the SEC. That is not the point of the story. The point of a story is something much more important and much more looking out in the future years ahead. When it comes to international markets, when it comes to bringing sponsorships that are out there, that are willing, and you bring them back to your campus, bring them back to your conference. Well, now you're talking new revenue streams. And that is what North Carolina is thinking about. I also am going to bring up one more point. And we are going to bring, I just want to comment on this before we get to the USC Trojans spotlight. And then we're going to end up, and it's about the Virginia situation. It's about our live show last night. In fact, we're going to start off our monologue talking about that. And then at the end, we're going to be doing the hot seat. Head coach hot seat. The hot seat watch. We're doing the Heisman watch, and we're doing the head coach hot seat watch during the season. We're going to be giving you updates weekly. We did the Heisman. If you missed it, we've done the Heisman. Right? This is our list. Top 6. The PATC Heisman watch heading into week 0. And again, you can disagree. Let me know how wrong I got it with comments, with super chats, with your phone calls. Let me know. Let me have it. Let me have it. But that is the PATC top 6 when it comes to the PATC Heisman watch headed into week 0. After week 0, we're going to have PATC Heisman watch heading into week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And we're going to have a history of the PATC Heisman watch. We're going to take a look back and see how players jumped into the top 6, jumped out of the top 6. Okay. So, that is the Heisman watch. We are going to starting tonight, the 2025 head coach hot seat rankings. Number 1, and we'll go over this. The number 1, the name I've got there on number 1 is the one that I think is most likely to lose their head coaching position during the season. And then number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. Now, number 5 and number 6 are I've got 2 names on there that probably won't be on there in a couple after week 1, week 2, week 3. But I just wanted to put a little juice in the top 6 list and explore some crazy possibilities. But anyways, we will get into that. Let me do the roll call, and then I want to talk a little bit about the Virginia situation that we have talked about in our yesterday's live show. But first of all, I want to thank everybody for joining us here on a late night, Sunday night, August 3rd live show. We are going to be doing Sunday night live shows during the season. They're going to be the aftermath. The aftermath of week 0, the aftermath of week 1, the aftermath of week 2. Sunday night PATC live shows are going to be called the aftermath. So buckle up, brace for impact. You're going to have to get used. You're going to have to get used to getting a notification that PATC is coming on Sunday nights. Ryan Thomas is in the house. Thanks for coming on in, Ryan. Jared Jones, thank you. I'm very thankful that anybody showed up tonight, Sunday night. Appreciate it. Bruce Harris, MBM. Scaving Yes Yes, Bo Weevil, MGC Suna, Don Scruggs, Steel Austin, Morris Simmons, the Big Gun Shop, Outlaw Skis, Thomas is in the house, Roll Tide, Bimba 7579, Wendy Scruggs, Gold Dogs, Sick'em, Daniel Gygax is in the house, AMAC is here, Ron Lowney is here, Grateful Trojan. Grateful Trojan. We're doing the USC Spotlight. Boy, they a wild card this year. Holy smokes. Eric Gentry, right? He had that concussion. He's put on some weight. Great linebacker, a little small a couple of years ago. I mean, he's a wild card. If he is right, if Eric Gentry is right, if Gentry is healthy and ready to go, he's going to be like a Swiss Army knife cutting through the offensive line, making plays behind the line of scrimmage. Eric Gentry. Nitwit is in the house. Nitwit is in the house. Who else is here? Who else has come along? Jeffrey Thompson. Amazing Blue. Stormy Cyclone. Daniel Gorby. Cranky Tiger is in the house. The Architect is here. Mike Williams. Matt Neeson. Rock and Rant. My Hot Seats. Rule, Pry, and Aranda. I got none of those 3 on my hot list. None of those 3. I don't think Matt Rule. See, of course, heading into week 0, I'm projecting what teams could possibly collapse, right? I mean, that's got to be part of the projection. After week 1, after week 0, we're going to end up getting results, and then it's going to be more based on the results. I don't see Nebraska collapsing. Virginia Tech is they were on the bubble. Pry was on the bubble. Aranda, I think he's got a lot of issues. But I don't think, in fact, I got Baylor going to the Big 12 championship game. So I think he's going to survive his issues because I think Baylor is going to have a fantastic season. We shall see. We shall see. Curtis is in the house. Mountaineer Memes is here. Ryan Thomas, Flugard Tech Freezes Coolers of the Big Cheese Conference. Thank you, Ryan Thomas. Thank you for starting us off. Super Chat. Thank you for all of your generosity. I appreciate it. Deuce's dad played for Florida State. Kerry Gold knows. Thanks for coming on in, sir. I appreciate it. Yeah, Deuce Robinson is, again, a loss for USC, not just on the field, but off the field. Great guy. Great guy. The alternative hypothesis is in the house. Thanks for coming on in, the almighty Finn. Okay, let's get to it. Venables has to be at the top. We shall see. We shall see who's at the top. Okay. Let me start off with the Virginia discussion that we've had over the last handful of live shows. Yesterday, we did a live show. Most people understood what that live show was all about. I'm saying about 95% of the PATC family understood what that live show was all about. A Virginia official who we did not have any contact with previously, who had some sort of connection with the Virginia Tech money perch. We reported a week ago tonight, last Sunday night, about a Virginia Tech money perch that one of the BTM associates have a relationship with. They talked, and we gave out some information. Some of that information, that Virginia Tech money perch, was based upon a UVA official. And that's all we're calling him, is an official. Not a money perch, not a booster, an official. So we were able, per the Virginia Tech money perch, we were able, in permission by the UVA official, to be able to contact him. I did not. I was on vacation. But the BTM and his associates had a back and forth with this individual. Yesterday's live show, we discussed what he believed to be true. Excuse me. It was very interesting. It came from a different perspective. I said maybe, 7, 8, 9 times during the live show yesterday that I did not necessarily agree with the UVA official. His belief could be absolutely 100% accurate. It could turn out to be exactly what he said. But I said 7 or 8 or 9 times yesterday, I said, we're bringing this forward. There's actually a UVA official and other people that believe that Scott Hamilton's reporting has a lot of merit, not just around North Carolina, but his report on Virginia. We brought that forward. We've done this before. I do not have guests on my show. This show is run by a nobody for nobodies. We open up the phone lines. You call in. I go through as many comments. Super chats, of course, supersede all the other comments, but I go through as many comments as possible. I try to answer and communicate as much as I can on comments after the shows and DMs. My DMs get flooded every single day, and I am very happy with that. But again, this show is not just about what I believe in. This show is not just about me pounding the table, even though I do pound the table, even though I go through my rants. This show is not just about me saying this is what I believe. This show has never been about that. It can't be just about that. It would be boring. It would not be accurate as much as it possibly can be. It would be stifling. It would be stupid. It would not be entertaining. So we bring forth information that, that challenges my understanding, maybe challenges yours, or maybe that information that we bring forward from this gentleman actually coincides with what you've heard from somebody else or what you believe. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Other college football YouTube channels, and there's a lot of great ones out there. There is a lot of great ones. They have panels. They ask each other questions. They disagree with each other. They give each other a hard time, but it's all in fun. We do it a little bit different here. But we're bringing out different opinions. Now, there's a handful of people that really have a difficult time when they hear something that doesn't coincide with their beliefs or their theory or their sources. They have a very difficult time dealing with that. I'm going to repeat this, and I have said this every bleep and live show for the last 12 months. No. More than that. When it comes to the Holy Smokes Theater in this ACC drama, this is not like the Big 12 poaching the Pac-12. This is not like Colorado sitting at the center of the stage. This is not like the Washington-Oregon information that we were able to give you. This is not like the USC story that we broke at PATC. I've said this over and over and over again. Those were 1,000-piece puzzles. This is a 50,000-piece puzzle with so many variables out there. Nothing is done. Nothing is settled. So when I made the prediction on April 9th, I said it was a prediction. It was not a report. I was not reporting. Like, for example, when I reported that nobody was going to file the notice of withdrawal in the ACC 2 years ago before August 15th, that was a report. When we said again this year that no one was going to file a notice of withdrawal before August 15th, that was a report. When we reported to you all that there was a hot bubble of action, but we couldn't tell you that there was a meeting going on between Colorado and the Big 12, but when we reported to you every single day that the Pac-12 presidents, according to Arizona State Money Perch and other sources, that the Pac-12 presidents were not even getting they weren't even getting a decent offer from anybody. These were reports. I had a prediction on April 9th about what I believe is going to happen. Not a report, but a prediction. The prediction was the Southeastern Conference was going to end up doing the big scoop, North Carolina, Virginia, Florida State, and Clemson. During the live show yesterday, how many times did I say, I'm not changing my prediction? How many times did I say that on yesterday's live show? Maybe 10 times. And I have said since April 9th, my prediction has about a 1% chance of being accurate. Why do I say that? Because nothing is settled. Nothing is done. There's a million different variables. And this is the chatter behind the curtain. Yes, I'm sorry. I must be a schmuck. I must be an absolute schmuck to listen to people that I have built relationships over a decade. When it comes to people behind the curtain, behind the mic, and the money purchase. But they, with the work we've done and the poking and prodding, I would not trade my track record for anybody out there, including the ones who hide behind a false name and they have a personality of a hand-painted pine cone. The key to all of this, the key to doing this, college football YouTube, especially on a national level, is to take what you do seriously, but you do not take yourself seriously. That is the key to all this. We got Ryan Willie, part of the PATC family. Him and I go at it. He's the evil badger. I'm the glorious golden gopher. But we are friends. We don't take ourselves too seriously. How many times do I call myself the fat guy from Minnesota? How many times do I call myself a moron? How many times do I call myself Greg the Cool? How many times do I say that I'm sitting in the middle of Loserville City and I'm the mayor? Don't take yourself so bleeping serious. Because if you do, I'm going to give you a little piece of advice. If you're out there and you believe you've got everything figured out based upon a theory that you cannot let go, that you cannot listen to other theories or other people's perceptions or other people's reporting or other people's sources, if you are so into your information silo, I'm going to give you a little hint. I'm going to give you a suggestion. No. I'm going to give you a little hint. You're not all that. You are not all that. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about, the Virginia aspect of this. Because this is going to continue, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to continue. We are going to get more speculation, more reporting. And guess what? We're going to talk about it here at Peek Around the Corner. We're going to actually talk about it. Oh my God, we're going to talk about it. And it might not fit into a nice little box with a bow tie on it. Oh no. But that's what we do here at Peek Around the Corner. If you want to have some fun talking about college football, if you want to take what we do here seriously, but not ourselves too seriously, this is the spot for you. But if you're somebody who is riding on that horse, who thinks he doesn't fall off, well, this ain't the place for you. This is not the place for ya. Okay, so let's get on with it. Now, I lost where I was. Let's do the USC Spotlight. Let's see the USC Spotlight. Vox Quindaro, I'm not ranting at you, sir. I'm not ranting at you at all. I'm not ranting at you at all. Thank God I super chat. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's get to it. Enough of that. We're going to have some fun here. Okay, USC Trojans. You are the biggest wild card. I do not know what to do with you, Trojans. I do not know what to do with you guys. Jaden Mayava, he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. I don't think he's going to end up being a great quarterback, but I think he's going to be a good quarterback. Grateful Trojan. You haven't heard Grateful Trojan. Grateful Trojan says, don't freeze us, Grateful Trojan. It is Greg the Gold, not Greg the Cooler this year. It is Greg the Gold. But I don't know what I'm going to do with the Trojans, and time is running out. It is August 3rd, for God's sake. I got to have my order of finish prediction for the Big Ten within the next 20 days. Jaden Mayava, 2024 stats, 7 games, took over for Miller Moss, over 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 59.8% completion percentage, 133.8 quarterback rating, 45 yards rushing. He played for UNLV the year before. I think maybe the game slowed down for him. Big Ten football slowed down for him by the end of last year. He's a good, big athlete. I mean, he doesn't run a lot. 45 yards rushing last season. Now, again, as a reminder, sacks count against the rushing yards for the quarterback. But he's a reluctant runner. He's a reluctant runner. Jaden Mayava is a guy that I think could improve just a little bit more. But I think there is a certain ceiling on him. But when we get to the receivers, man, these USC, I'm telling you guys, when we talk about the best wide receiver rooms in the country, USC, even though they lost Deuce Robinson, they might have the top 1-2 punch in all of college football. I'm saying that. I am absolutely saying that. Brian Jackson, now, again, this is USC homegrown, right? Not a transfer portal guy. They believe in him. 2024 stats, 188 yards, 5.2 average rush, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 reception. Of course, you had some great running backs last year at USC. Woody Marks and Lincoln Riley did not run the ball enough last year. I'm not a Zachariah Branch fan at all. Zachariah Branch going to Georgia. Good luck, Georgia. It ain't going to help Georgia. Although Georgia got Noah Thomas and they got other guys that's going to help them greatly. But we're not talking Georgia tonight. We're talking USC, Byron Jackson. No, he played a lot. He played snaps. I believe he played every game in the season. He just didn't carry the rock, but he got some time. He's ready to rock and roll in 2025. Now, Jacoby Lane, I think he's going to be fantastic this year. In 2026, I think he's going to be absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I know Eli Sanders and everybody, Grateful Trojan, but I wanted to talk about somebody who started at USC, homegrown, played last year. I know they got a lot. We don't cover every player on the offense and the defense. So I get it. They've got other guys that are going to carry the rock. Jacoby Lane, 43 receptions, 525 yards, 12.2 average, 12 receiving touchdowns. 12 receiving touchdowns out of 43 receptions. And he's just getting started. He's only scratched the surface. He's probably, in my opinion, now I might be wrong, USC fans might think I'm absolutely nuts, but I think he is I think he's one of the top 3 or 4 most talented receivers in the country. But he probably isn't going to get the most targets. I don't think so. We're going to have to just wait to see how it plays out, because Mekhi Lemon is going to be the guy this year. 52 receptions, 764 yards receiving, 14.7 average, 3 receiving touchdowns. I think this is the guy that the quarterback, QB1, QB2, if they got to go to QB2, this is the guy that they're going to be targeting the most. Mr. Lemon is ready to crush it. Pro Football Focus has made it a big deal. They talk about the NFL draft for 2026, the spring of 2026. They've got Mr. Lemon being the number 1 receiver in that draft. So you've got Jacoby Lane, you got Mekhi Lemon. Holy smokes. USC Trojans are going to score some points this year. Now, the question is the defense. And, it's not like they've gotten bigger. They've gotten stronger. They've gotten tougher. They all... everybody says this, the Big Ten Network, they're just a different team than they were 2 years ago. They got Anthony Lucas. They got some veteran guys on the D-line. Devon Tompkins. They got a transfer, Keyshawn Silver. But when we're talking about the man who stirs the drink on defense, and again, I always try to make sure to bring in the guys who've been there if I can. When we highlight these players, we got to go to Kamari Ramsey. Safety, 43 solo tackles, 60 combos, 6 tackle for losses, 2 sacks, 1 interception, 5 pass defenses. Now, the Big Ten is absolutely stacked at the safety position. Kamari Ramsey started out his career as a cornerback, a defensive back. They moved him to safety last year. He can play a little bit of both. He can do a lot of things in the secondary for the USC Trojans. And if you look at now, the reason why USC is the wild card, they've got a lot of talent, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, they have got a lot of talent. They've got, I think they had a really good transfer class. Bishop Fitzgerald, NC State. I talked about him last year. Coming in, going to be in the secondary for USC. But if you look at their football schedule, this is why I think it's just... USC is the knife that is sitting on the edge. You go in, now they play at Purdue, at home against Michigan State. They should be 2-0 in the Big Ten. Then you've got at Illinois, at home Michigan, at Notre Dame, at Nebraska. All 4 of those games are so different from what it's. First of all, you go on at Illinois, okay? At Illinois. Illinois is a very experienced team. Right now, I got them 4 or 5 in the Big Ten. I'm thinking, can USC supplant Illinois? Can they supplant Indiana? Can USC be that 4th spot in the Big Ten? Possibly go into the playoffs? They got to go on the road. They've got to beat Illinois. Then they got a week off. If they lose that game, they've got a week off, then they're thinking about it, and then they're at home against Michigan, Bryce Underwood. And then, after that, they play their rival at Notre Dame. And if they lose that, then they got to go at Nebraska. And then they finish it off at home against Iowa at Oregon. So it's that middle. It's that September 27th to November 1st. I don't know if they're going to rise. If they beat Illinois, holy smokes. Holy smokes. Then they're all jazzed. They're probably undefeated, most likely, no doubt undefeated. Going at home against Michigan. And then if they win that game, it's off to the races. USC has a very good shot at getting to the playoffs. So, it's that Illinois game on the road, September 27th. I mean, that is the USC Trojans swinging gate game. That is the swinging gate game. They do not play Penn State. They do not play Ohio State. They do not play Indiana, but they do play Illinois on the road, Oregon on the road, Michigan at home, Nebraska on the road, Notre Dame on the road. And of course, they play at home against UCLA, their rival, at home against Michigan State, their second Big Ten game of the season. So I got, USC is... There is a wide... their ceiling and their floor are further apart, in my opinion, than any other Big Ten team out there in 2025. Especially when I watched Lincoln Riley last year. Lincoln Riley is a good offensive mind. He knows the player. Look, you watch USC, you watch that skill. When they are on, baby. They are on. They are absolutely on. But I watched Lincoln Riley screw up against the Gophers. They had the Gophers. All they had to do was put the foot to the throat, and the Gophers were done. All they had to do was keep running the ball when they were up 14-7, but they went to the pass. That right tackle could not block Jaw Joyner. It was an interception. Gophers took over. USC should have won that game. USC should have won Maryland. But Lincoln Riley did not stick with the running game when he should have. In the Big Ten, sometimes, a lot of times, you have to run the damn ball, especially when you are being successful at it. And they were a successful running team last year, but they did not run it enough. So that's also in my mind when I'm thinking about the USC Trojans. The defense has gotten better. Eric Gentry, an incredibly talented linebacker, I believe. Let me know in the comments section. I believe he is back. I believe he is healthy. I know he has put on weight. They got that freshman All-American at UNLV for the kicker. They did great in the portal. They did absolutely great in the portal. They got to make it all work. The USC Trojans have got to make it all work. Again, this has been your USC Spotlight. We will continue the series tomorrow. We're going to be doing the Wake Forest tomorrow. So buckle up, brace for impact. We still got the Seminoles. We still got the Miami Hurricanes. We got a few more teams to do, and then we will be ready to do the all order of finish prediction for all the Power Four conferences. I can't wait. I cannot wait, because this year, it's no longer.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and
No longer.
Never said you felt that way.
No longer Greg the
You're
Cooler.
trying to stay strong and fake a smile.
It's Greg the
until
Gold.
I look away. But I've known you too long. It hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade
Let's
away.
go. Fade away, Greg the Cooler. Fade
As you fade
away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray.
Soon, very, very soon, in a couple weeks from now, the Einsteins that make up the PATC family and yours truly, Greg the Gold, will be making our predictions against the spread, our picks against the spread for week 0. It's happening. We're 2 weeks away. Kansas, Fresno State, Iowa State, Kansas State, Greg the Gold. This is the year finally. All right, so that was the USC Spotlight. Appreciate everybody for coming on in. We got more to do before we get to the open phone calls. We are going to let those phone calls wide open. Talk about anything in college football that your heart desires. Mr. Seminole, long time family member of the PATC, Kerry Gold knows. Good to see you guys. Let's spot the damn ball already. Florida State, Alabama. The last line I saw was 13.5. 13.5. You know what? Let's talk about it. I know we got other parts of the show to do. I get it. Kerry Gold knows. Look, I'm going to be very positive about the Seminoles right now. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. This year is Greg the Gold. Okay? I'm not going to screw the Seminoles. All right? Alabama, Florida State. We got the line here at 13. I think it's at 13.5. I might be wrong. Whatever. We're not doing official predictions tonight, so we don't have to worry about it. But let me... Can we talk about this for a moment? Thank you, Kerry Gold knows for your super chat. Can we talk about, is anybody listening besides the PATC Einsteins? The Sharks out there in Las Vegas, are they listening to the show? Do you know why that total is 50.5? Do you know why that total is 50.5? Do you know why that total isn't higher? Right? Look at the other totals. 56.5, LSU, Clemson. Well, that's going to be a low-scoring one. 54.5, Miami, Notre Dame. 59.5, TCU, North Carolina. Okay. Do you know why this is 50.5? Now, some of you might say, well, because Alabama defense roll tide, and you got Thomas Castellanos barking off, making some comments he's going to get destroyed. And look at Florida State's offense last year. They did not score more than 21 points in a game all season long. All of that is correct, but there's another reason why this line is at 50.5. There's another reason. Do you think, now again, we got Roll Tide people in the chat room, so you're all going to be upset with me. Except unless you believe Greg the Cooler is going to make another appearance this year, which he's not. Do you think Einstein's in the chat room? Do you think Ty Simpson is going to feel comfortable against a Tony White's defense? Do you think a quarterback who has not been a starter, do you think Ty Simpson, even though he's been at Alabama for 3 or 4 years, is going to feel comfortable against that 3-3-5 defense of the Seminoles? He ain't going to feel comfortable. He ain't going to feel comfortable. So, I ain't saying, but I'm saying. I ain't saying, but I'm saying that the Seminoles, if they don't turn over the ball, if Thomas Castellanos, he's going to get crushed a couple times, doesn't fumble it. If he gets out of the pocket, he's kind of small, no tip passes, no interceptions, no short field for Alabama. The Seminoles have a very good shot at covering at 13.5, whatever the line is. I ain't saying, but I'm saying, I think the key point to that game, the key aspect to that game is Ty Simpson against Tony White. And I happen to think Ty Simpson is going to struggle. Let me know what you think in the chat room. Let me know how I got it wrong once again. But I've been breaking down the tape of that game, guys. I've been breaking it all down. We are going to get to the hot seat here. We are going to get to the hot seat. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. We are going to get to the main point of our program. Okay, I want to bring up this here. And then we'll get to the head coach hot seat, and then we'll get to your phone calls. I wanted to talk more about this and why it is a story that we are going to be hearing more about this stuff. And this is the North Carolina UNC plans for international sports stadium, estimated to bring over $5 billion in North Carolina proposal. I'm going to read through this real quick. It's a short article. Leaders of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill aspire to put the school on the global map. Now, North Carolina does have a global brand, somewhat. You got the Michael Jordan. You got North Carolina is somewhat of a brand out there internationally, but they've got plans, and so does the Southeastern Conference. With the development of a new stadium to host cricket and rugby and soccer games ahead of the Summer Olympic Games in Los Angeles, according to a proposal for the Carolina North Campus. The UNC Board of Trustees discussed plans on Wednesday afternoon for the NC Coliseum, a proposed stadium that would be constructed less than 2 miles from the main campus. The presentation during the meeting dove into the value of bringing the new venue to UNC from the angle of its mixed uses as a sports and entertainment space to the international perception the space could bring for North Carolina. I'm not even going to read the rest. I'll put a link in the description box. You can read it. International perception the space could bring for North Carolina. Now, when I talked about this yesterday's live show, and I read the comments, people were great. What, the Southeastern Conference is going to have a rugby league? They're going to have a cricket. There are rugby clubs out there, by the way. But anyways, club teams. No, that's not what we were talking about. It's about the international perceptions. It's about getting that international market money coming through your door. Branding your university through your university and your conference to international markets. Every sports league in the world is doing it, and college sports has begun to do it. And it's going to be little by little by little by little. We're going to have more international football games. The college football reporters, a handful of them, mocked the Michigan game in Germany. I don't know what to say. I would disagree. That is just the first foray in the game year after year, international games. You're going to have clubs in Europe that are going to be centered around your university, your football team, your basketball team. That's what's going to happen. You're going to have the Alabama Crimson Tide Club somewhere in Slovenia. This is what's going to happen. Little by little, it's going to grow. That is what they are projecting. This is what they're doing. College sports, SEC, Big Ten, the Big 12's been looking at it. They want to put their product. They want to put their brand. This is an analogy. They want to put it in the shelves of the European, Far East, possibly Middle East shelves. So when a European is looking for sports entertainment, there's access. There is that possibility. That is their possibility of a little bit of advertisement for the TCU Horned Frogs, for the Rutgers, for UCF. That there is a little bit of something that they are watching. Oh, what is this? College football. Like the NFL football, but it's college. And they learn the pageantry, the passion, the history of college sports. And this UNC, this is about bringing sponsorship money to sponsor, well after the Olympics, cricket and rugby, international games. And if you think that the Southeastern Conference and the Big Ten are sitting there going, boy, UNC should not do that, you're crazy. They love that. That's what they want to see. Just one of the many reasons. I still see, and again, I respect everybody's opinion, but when people are talking about the next wave of conference realignment, they're falling into the same old arguments that a North Carolina does not have enough viewership numbers, and they don't fill their stadium all the time. Well, they do now because Bill Belichick. But the next wave, the disruption there's going to be factors in play that is much larger and much more complicated than years prior. So I just wanted to bring that up again. I wanted to bring that up one more time. I'm not going to talk about cricket or rugby being played at UNC, having them build a stadium until we get more reporting on it, until it becomes important. But that's what I wanted to... the week 0 game in Ireland is fantastic. And there's going to be more of that. BY football, I don't know what to say to you, sir. I don't know what to say to you. There's a lot of Americans living in Germany, living in military bases. That stadium is going to be jam-packed full, and it's going to get a lot of advertisement in Germany. In Western Michigan, who's going to get paid a lot of money to go to Germany and play that game. Western Michigan is going to get a lot of money. Michigan is going to get bags of cash to move a game out of Ann Arbor to go to Germany. The stadium will be packed. The beer will be flowing. Okay. Disruption. Look, Nick, I mispronounce a lot of words. The only words that I never mispronounce is golden gopher. Golden gophers. Okay. Alrighty. Let's get to the hot seat. Again, we will open up the phone lines after this. We will open up the phone lines. We're doing the Heisman Watch heading into week 0. This list could possibly change week to week to week to week. Heisman Watch, we got Jeremiah Smith, number 1. Cade Klubnik, number 2. Sam Levitt, number 3. Jeremiah Love, number 4. Arch Manning, number 5. Garrett Nussmeier, number 6. And you know what? That list probably isn't going to change, but who knows, right? What if Avery Johnson lights up the Cyclones? Right? What if Jalen Daniels runs for 120 yards, throws for 320 yards in the new stadium in Lawrence, Kansas, and Jalen Daniels goes crazy? Maybe he gets on the list going into week 1. Now, we've done the same for the 2025 head coach hot seat rankings. Number 1 on the list is Sam Pittman. I think he is at the very end of his reign in Arkansas. Now, I do like, we've already done the Arkansas spotlight. I do think Arkansas has some reasons to believe this year. And a lot of it has to do with their quarterback. I think their quarterback is smooth. I think he can make plays. I think he can make plays off schedule. I think they've got a great special teams guy that they got from UAB. I mean, Arkansas did a little bit in the portal. They got some guys coming back. But I think Sam Pittman is very close. Mike Gundy. We did a Oklahoma State Cowboy spotlight. The quarterback, TCU transfer, Mr. Heine. Haas Heine, he's going to have to run for his life. He's going to have to make plays. They're going to have to win the close games. Can Mike Gundy survive? I don't know, guys. I really don't know. MBM says 1 bad year and Gundy is number 2. He's more successful than PJ Fleck. That's for sure. Oklahoma State did not win a Big 12 conference game last year. If they go off and lose a bunch of Big 12 games at the beginning of this season, I think Gundy's going to be in trouble because Oklahoma State Cowboys have high expectations for the football program. Mike Gundy has been a very successful head coach. That's not the argument. That is not the argument. Scott Satterfield. Again, they have that big game against Nebraska. Week 1. That is a very big game for Scott Satterfield for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Brent Venables, number 4. Now, I would have him at number 1 or number 2. I think his seat is hot. But I do like John Mateer and Jaden Ott in the backfield. I think Oklahoma is going to score some points this year. Now, my number 5 and number 6. Again, no one can debate the success of James Franklin, but I've got him on the hot seat because the pressure is going to be enormous. The pressure is going to be enormous for James Franklin. He cannot lose an early game. He cannot lose. He's got to win the Big Ten this year. He's got to get it done. Again, James Franklin, a very successful coach. An incredibly successful coach. Look at his record. But I think he's on the hot seat, at least at the beginning. Now, again, in a couple weeks, he's going to be off this list. He's going to be off this list in a couple of weeks. But the pressure is enormous on him. Same thing with Joey McGuire. I mean, Texas Tech just went to 3 straight bowl games. The Red Raiders just went to 3 straight bowl games. There's no way Joey McGuire should be on the hot seat. But we've got other circumstances here, ladies and gentlemen. Texas Tech Red Raider Nation front-loaded their NIL deals. The money's being spent like crazy. Expectations are that the Red Raiders should go to the Big 12 championship game. And if Joey McGuire cannot get them there this year, with a senior-led, the Red Baron Morton, but the portals that they got bringing in here, Joey McGuire, I think, is on the hot seat. It doesn't mean he's a bad coach. It doesn't mean he's done a bad job. Those are my 6. Now, there was Luke Fickell is close. No question about it. Luke Fickell is very close. Tony Elliott is very close. But again, I don't think he's going to be the first guy fired. Now, maybe if Virginia comes out and Mike Loxley, another name that very well probably is going to get on this list. There are other names you could put on there. But my goodness, these are the coaches that I believe have a whole bunch of pressure on them for different reasons. James Franklin, I think that one is obvious. Joey McGuire, it's a little bit different, but it's obvious. Brent Venables, Oklahoma, they cannot go 6-6 this year. They can't even go 7-5. They're going to have to go 8-4. They're going to have to they're going to have to improve. Scott Satterfield, the Bearcat fan base, they were never sold on Satterfield. They were never sold on Satterfield. So Satterfield has got to sell himself to the Bearcat fan base, to the boosters, and beat Nebraska Thursday night on August 28th. And that is going to be the doubleheader, the second game of our watch party. Mike Gundy, incredibly successful coach, but Oklahoma State, they're not gonna sit around and have Mike Gundy go 2-6 in Big 12 play this year. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And Sam Pittman, I think he's at the very end, but we'll find out. Bob Swanger, Greg, you don't know what you're talking about. Could put Doran at North Carolina State, but I think he retires. I think he retires. 8-4, James Franklin would get fired this year. I don't see how they can go 8-4. Venables is done. No way they do better than 7-5. Sonny Dykes and Dave Aranda should be on this list. Well, I can't have Dave Aranda on the list because they just won 9 games last year, and I think Baylor's going to go to the Big 12 championship game. But I do understand that Dave Aranda has made some comments that are pretty not a comment that nobody should be making. A professional in public. I'm not going to talk about it on this live show tonight. But Dave Aranda, I happen to think the Baylor Bears are going to be great this year. We shall see. We shall see. Fire Brent Pry. Nick Boardman. Again, Virginia Tech and South Carolina. We are going to try to do a watch party. That is the one game that I have a little bit of a scheduling conflict. South Carolina and Virginia Tech. I might, if I do a watch party. See, I'm planning to do a double header. Virginia Tech, South Carolina, Notre Dame, and Miami. Okay? The Virginia Tech, South Carolina, I may start that game just a little late. But that's a big game for Brent Pry. Big game for Brent Pry. I think Ferentz is gonna become the all-time. He's gonna get some record. What is that record again that he's gonna pass? Is it Big Ten wins? Woody Hayes, and then I think he's gonna retire. So I think this is last year, but I don't know that for sure. It could be Whittingham's last year. They've got a guy all set, ready to replace him. Hopefully Norvell does well in his new CEO role. He's got the offensive coordinator that he wants. He's got the defensive coordinator that he wants. What about DJ Lagway and Billy Napier? If DJ Lagway is not ready to play at 100% at the beginning of the season, what is his injury? Is it a calf issue? Why is DJ Lagway in a boot? Is it a calf injury? Is he going to be ready? Again, Billy Napier is not on this list because I've got Florida doing better than most people. So I'm trying to project the season, right? If Lagway is not ready to go, holy smokes. Holy smokes. Yeah, I don't have Sonny Dykes anywhere close to being on this list. And Josh Hoover is going to have a monster season. Okay, opening up the phone lines. Opening up the phone lines. Let me know how wrong I got it once again. 763 260 1333 763 260 1333. Give us a call. Give us a call. If Virginia comes out really bad, you know Elliott's going to get up on this. He'll get up on this list. Very good, very good chance. I'll take James Franklin off pretty early on. Joey McGuire off, pretty early on. And then other names are going to appear. But I wanted to make a statement with James Franklin, Joey McGuire. The pressure is on. The pressure is on. James Franklin is a hell of a coach, successful coach. Joey McGuire, he's done good. He's done good. Mike Gundy is an all-timer at Oklahoma State. But the pressure is on. I like Florida more than most. But now I've got this DJ Legway situation, and I can't get any good information. Rock and Rant, you got any good information? Is it a calf injury? If it's a calf injury and he's not able to practice, I love Eugene Wilson in the reports coming out of camp, spring camp and August camp about Dallas Wilson. I mean, they've got Dallas Wilson is a freshman. They've got guys on that Florida. But if DJ Legway cannot practice, if he cannot level, he's got to get to another level of play. I don't know. Rod Nix, Elliott is safe. Calf strain. Well, all right, thanks, James Davis. I've heard that. Now, the question is what type of degree of calf strain? I mean, let me see here. Hold on. You got Florida's football schedule. And they're playing Long Island University, South Florida on September 6th, at LSU, at Miami, at home against Texas, at Texas A&M. I mean, so he's got to be ready by September 6th. South Florida ain't going to be an automatic pushover. But then Florida's going on the road at LSU, at Miami, at Texas A&M, with the Texas game squeezed in there. DJ Legway's got to be ready to go. So I don't know what I'm going to do with Florida. I was going to have them doing really good, guys. I was. Really good. I had them winning some of those tough games there, like Texas A&M. PNWU, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. Calf strain, nothing a little Gatorade can't fix. I don't know, man. Those calf strain, they can take you out, depending on the severity of it. He wasn't a boot. I mean, Is he practicing? I bet he's not practicing. He's been cleared? Oh, he's been playing at camp. Yesterday. Okay, I'm going to have to dig into that. Thank you, BYU football. Lane Kiffin should be fired immediately for the dumb face. Am I the only one who has to work tomorrow? No, every day is a work day for me. I tell you that. Lord, help us if A&M ever wins one. I'm not a believer in Texas A&M this year either. It's good that they got the running back Moss, but they do have KC Concepcion, the great wide receiver. That was a great portal get for the Aggies. But I don't know. I have thank you, PNWU. Appreciate it. PNWU. Thank you for the super chat. I got the Missouri Tigers knocking on the playoff door. I got the Missouri Tigers like right there. If you look at that offense, if Bo Pribula is the guy that I think he can be, you're looking at Mr. Hardy, the great running back, Ahmed Hardy. You got Kevin Coleman, the receiver coming from Mississippi State. Kevin Coleman is a beast. Missouri Tigers, and if you look at their schedule, if you look at the Missouri Tigers schedule, my gosh, it's absolutely ripe for a playoff run. Let me put it up here. Kansas, September 6th. That's going to be an emotional, big-time game. Missouri, Kansas. They start the SEC schedule at home against South Carolina. Big, big game, right? At home against Alabama. Their road games at Auburn, at Vanderbilt, at Oklahoma, at Arkansas. Now, for a road schedule in the SEC, and I'm not trying to disrespect, again, Auburn they can win that game. Vanderbilt can win that game. Oklahoma can win that game. Arkansas. But if you want to pick out a road schedule for the 2025 season, holy smokes. They're at home against Alabama, at home against Texas A&M, at home against South Carolina. They avoid playing Georgia. They avoid playing Texas. They avoid playing LSU. I don't know. I am this close from putting Missouri Tigers in the college football playoffs. If they go 10-2, you think they're not going to get in? If the Missouri Tigers go 10-2, do you think they're not getting in? Hey, Kansas, if you want to, if Big 12 country wants to stop Missouri from getting in the playoffs, if SEC fan base don't want Missouri to get to the college football playoffs, you all are going to have to root for the Kansas Jayhawks to go on the road and beat Missouri second week of the season. Texas is another road schedule. Yeah, Al Bundy, you're absolutely correct. They're going to feast on that road schedule as well. Absolutely correct, sir. Now, Texas does play at Ohio State, obviously, right? They go to the shoe. Their road schedule at Florida, and again, at Kentucky, at Mississippi State, and then they got the game at Georgia. Not as easy as Missouri, but Texas has got a pretty good schedule. Once again, they're going to win a lot of games. I've got them winning it all. Right now, I've got the Longhorns winning everything. Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk, Nebraska, Steve. Are you going to be able to take out Missouri? Are you going to be able to take out Missouri? That's the question. Okay, so it looks like we're not getting any phone calls. Let me redo it again here. Anybody want to give us a call? 763-260-1333. I do want to thank PNW Ute, Kerry Gold Nose, and Ryan Thomas for your super chats. Appreciate it.
Call from
Tristan 5.
Tristan 5, the floor is yours. Thanks for calling, sir. Appreciate it.
Hey, Greg, thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
Hey, listen, I wanted to comment on a few things, and I'll try and be quick here.
No problem.
So first of all, someone made a comment about people in Germany probably don't know about college football. That may be true, but Greg, I actually have a friend from Germany, and he was telling me that when they had the European Football League, actually the German people really liked it. And believe it or not, the thing that they liked about it the most, arguably, was the culture of tailgating. That was the new thing.
Yeah.
They really liked it. And so they would embrace football. I think if the NFL ever expands twice in Europe, the first one will be in London. I think there's a good chance the second one will be in Germany.
Yeah.
And by the way, Michigan that's a smart move that they're doing, playing a game in Germany. I think that's a wise decision. Going international there. So listen, I'm going to ask you this trivia question, okay? What do Tennessee, Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, Florida, and Texas all have in common?
Okay, read those again.
Tennessee, Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, Florida, and Texas.
None of them have beaten the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Well, actually, you know what? There's two answers, and that's one of them.
Auburn and Alabama are both 0-1 against my beloved Golden Gophers, and both those games happen in this century, so don't give me this leather helmet stuff. Go ahead, sir. What is the other answer to the question?
Yeah, the answer I was working towards here is they're all on Georgia's schedule this year. Greg, Georgia's losing at least 3 games and probably 4. There's no way. This is not a playoff season for them. They're going to get annihilated by this schedule.
You know what? God, you might be right. I'm starting to question everything here. You might be right. Georgia's running game last year was terrible, and it didn't make any sense. And now they're becoming a passing team. And I think Noah Thomas was a great pickup, but I don't know if Gunnar Stockton. You might be right. They might be the bust of the season, but yet I have them going to the playoffs as of right now. Go ahead, sir. Finish up. Go ahead.
The cherry on top is that they have to play an improving Georgia Tech on the last game of the season.
Yeah.
And they barely won that one last year.
Yeah, that went 8 overtimes.
Yeah, so that's going to be a tough situation for them. And I think what we're going to see, you were questioning, their offense. This is what I've been saying. Kirby Smart does not know how to field a top-notch, high-octane offense at the college level. He just doesn't. He lucked into Stetson Bennett. They had Todd Monken.
They had
and
Brock Bowers,
and Brock Bowers and
yeah.
Ladd McConkey. Those 4 people are all gone. And every offense that they've had, other than when they had those 4 together, has been good, but not good enough to win it all. And so we're going to see more of that this year. And the other thing, too, is I wanted to throw a quick comment in on Duke, North Carolina. I actually tried to call you yesterday. Couldn't get through.
Mm-hmm.
But, Greg, I think that Ryan Thomas was right. He was saying, do you believe my prediction now, in the comment section? I was questioning it before, but I don't question it now. I think he's been right on the money the whole time.
Yeah, it's again, I don't. How do I say this? We know, obviously we know who this gentleman is, this UVA official. We did not know who he was before all this. We're taking what he said very seriously. He's taken what Scott Hamilton reported very seriously. I'm not gonna go on record and say that I agree with him. I don't. I'm still with the, I'm still with my prediction, which has a 1% chance of being right, but I'm still with that. But I understand what I get the argument. I get the argument. I get the discussion. I get it. If the Southeastern Conference is going to do a big scoop, they're going to take the 4 biggest brands of the 2 highest revenue sports. And there's a lot of advantages to that with the plans that they have. But I can't quite take Virginia out of my prediction. I cannot do it because of the things that I've been told about the Southeastern Conference moving people in, or there are people of Southeastern Conference interest moving into certain places at Virginia that they're going to be in a spot where they're going to be able to flip the switch if they need to. But whatever. We're going to find out. We're going to find out together. But I thought it was very fascinating, incredibly interesting, and I'm glad we did it. And we might have to do it again here soon. So.
Yeah, I agree. And this is what I was thinking. If that is what they do, Greg, they're basically going to be importing the greatest basketball rivalry in the history of college basketball.
Yeah.
They're just going to be importing that rivalry right into the conference. And then they're going to be potentially creating, depending on how scheduling works and so forth, you might have a similar rivalry. Now, nothing will ever match Duke, North Carolina. That's not what I'm saying. But you could have at the next level Kentucky, North Carolina, and Kentucky, Duke. And, the geography supports it. They're not far away from each other, and Kentucky's a blue blood. So, man, that is, when you think about it, there's some real appeal to that.
Yeah.
And I think I do not believe if that plays out the way it's predicted by that person saying it, Greg, I still think that the SEC down the road, I'm not saying like soon, but like maybe 5 years from now or at the end of the next television contract, I think they'll circle back around and try and get Virginia Tech. I think that would be a fine pickup. That it fits the culture. You look at the geography; they're close to Kentucky, they're close to Tennessee. It's a brand new state, large student body, Greg, and I think there's a lot of positives for Virginia Tech. If they miss out on Virginia and they go with Duke down the road, I think Virginia Tech becomes a candidate for the SEC.
Got it.
That's all I had for you.
Beautiful, man. Appreciate it. Great call. Once again, Tristan.
All right. Thanks a lot, Greg. You keep up the good work.
You got it, buddy. Great call.
All right. Bye-bye.
So, Brock Lesnar, help me guys. Brock Lesnar did something to John Cena on tonight's SummerSlam. Is that true? Is that true? Brock Lesnar showed up at SummerSlam tonight? Yes. So does that mean that court case that Brock Lesnar is involved with, that has been settled? Brock Lesnar is no longer part of that civil action against WWE from a lady who used to work there? Is Brock Lesnar no longer part of that case? I'm just asking. I would find it hard. They must have, Brock Lesnar must not be part of I don't know how WWE could use him if he's still part of that. If he's still part of that case. Was there a settlement? I do not know. I'm asking. I know nothing. I'm asking the questions. Anyways, very interesting. By the way, going from one Minnesota to another, going from Brock Lesnar to Lonnie Anderson, rest in peace, Lonnie Anderson, born in Minnesota, WKRP in Cincinnati. She passed away today, rest in peace. My thoughts and prayers go out to her loved ones, and the next time you see Lonnie Anderson, it will be forever. Lonnie Anderson, rest in peace. Nothing is settled. And Brock Lesnar came back. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. Turkey flying Thanksgiving, that was the greatest. Yeah, because I've shut them down, Rock and Rant. We're gonna close it up here. I gotta get off the line. I gotta get off live show. It's 10 o'clock here. I plan to get off at 10 o'clock. So I apologize, Rock and Rant. We will open up the phone lines tomorrow, Monday, August 4th. Buckle up, brace for impact. I'm glad we did this show because we had to clear up a few things from our Virginia shows. We did the USC Spotlight. We're going to do the Wake Forest Spotlight tomorrow. And we are going to be covering any breaking news that happens tomorrow, August 4th. We are heading towards college football, week 0. So please stay with us here at Peek Around the Corner. If you're new to our channel or if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe. Smash the like button if you've liked our content tonight. And share the video with your family and friends. And by the way, if you subscribe, turn on those notifications because we can come on live at any time here at Peek Around the Corner. You got to keep your head on a swivel. You got to keep your head on a swivel if you want to be part of the PATC family. But thank you. I appreciate everybody joining us. Until next time, from all of us at College Football's Peek Around the Corner, PATC, to all of you, please, you all take great care of each other. God, family, Golden Goal.